Good morning, traders, and this is the Dow Jones Daily Review. So, yesterday was pretty much a nothing day. You can see on Friday we had this pin bar form, and then we had another pin bar form yesterday in the opposite direction. So that's normally an indication of total confusion. Okay, so what I want to do is just highlight the weekly again. I keep highlighting this, but it is a warning bell, so you just got to keep it in the back of your mind. Don't ignore it, because the higher time frames are a lot more accurate than the lower time frames. Okay, so what you're looking at here is we have a high and we have a lower high, whereas in the oscillator we've got a high and a higher high. So that is diversions, and it is continuation diversion. In other words, a move to the downside. The next thing that we've got here is we have a trend line. That is our trend line there, and we have broken through the trend line. Although we haven't got a weekly close, we have broken through it. So on the daily, you'd have a daily close above there. So, it's a mixed bag of signals that we have broken the trend line. What I'd like to see is a move off this trend line, come and find some support somewhere down in this area here, and then have another attempt up. Okay, so the alligator itself has started pointing back the upside, but the oscillator is looking very tired with diversion. So mixed bag of signals at the moment on the weekly. Okay, let's just get down to 4 hour and see what we have here. So right now, where we are at this stage, I am anticipating that this is yet another test of this level. Okay, now if I come to the daily, I don't really have any fractals there except for there. Okay, so that's probably the level that we need to watch for. Let's just have a look on the 4 hour. Okay, so that's pretty much what we tagged yesterday. Okay, inside tail. So we have tagged that yesterday. We bounced off the alligator. Now for me, I would expect this, based on this pattern, for this to continue to the downside. But what has happened is we have formed an upward trend line. Okay, so as it stands now, we have a high, a lower high, and we have a high and a higher high. So that is diversions, and it is continuation diversions to the downside. So my gut is telling me that we're moving to the downside. My brain is telling me be very careful, because this is a confusing environment and it could trap you either way. Okay, so there's no clear direction for me of where we're going. So what I'd like to do is break down to the lower time frames and start looking for something there to see if I can get any indication. So we had a double top off this level. We've now rallied back into this area, and we have closed a gap. So there's the gap. Okay, so this tail here was a previous breakout on the hour, and we have closed it. And you've had some sellers step in there. Looking at the hour, that's probably a good choice. Whether we're going to move all the way back down and close this gap, okay, or whether we're going to find some support on this trend line here, I don't know. So, everything that I've looked at this morning is nothing really clear as to what's going on. And you can see very clearly on the half hour yesterday, we rallied, failed to break. Well, we did get a new high, but we had diversions. And then we sold off with lots of indecision here. Okay. So, yeah, I'm kind of in two minds as to what to do. I think the logical thing to do is just to sit and wait to see what happens. Now, the DAX is looking like a move to the upside. And I don't know what it's based on, because the only thing that's really up at the moment is the Nikkei. So Japan is up, but the Hang Seng is pretty flat. And you would have thought that the trade war discussions, that would be the element that would move us at the moment. So anyway, I think for me, it's a sit on hands. Even if we do get back up to this area, I think I'm going to anticipate that we look for shorts. That's the only logical thing that I can see at the moment. There's nothing really else. I think let's just get to the ichimoku. That may change my mind. So if you look at the hour, we've got a bearish crossover in the cloud, which is fairly strong. Chiku span is below, but the cloud is green. Okay, so we have tested the cloud, we've broken the cloud, so I would expect some kind of a pullback. Where to? Anyone's guess. It could be all the way back down again, or alternatively, it could be just to test the break. Now, if you look at the half hour, we've got a different picture here. We've got a bullish crossover, and we've broken through the cloud. So you're anticipating another move to the upside, although the oscillator disagrees. If we look at the 4 hour, we have tested the cloud a second time. We've broken above Kijinsen, and Chiku span is coming up to Kijinsen. So that is a pretty bullish signal. But it is telling me something here that I need to pay attention to these 4-hour fractals. And I'll run through that now. And if we look at the daily, trend is up. What you're worrying about, stay with the trend. Okay, so pretty much a mixed bag across all time frames. Now, if we just come back to the Bull-Williams theory, let's get rid of that noise, and come back to the 4-hour. So I think this is going to be the safest bet to play. You're looking for a fractal break above the high of yesterday and the low of yesterday. That's pretty much what you're looking for. If we do break above the high of yesterday, then you can anticipate a move back the upside, at least come test the previous highs. And if you get a break below the low of yesterday, so the low of yesterday is at 2,500 and the high of yesterday is at 25,248. Okay, so that is kind of the view that I have. This could be an exhaustion bar. We are above the alligator, but the alligator is flat. It is pointing to the upside. So it could be upside brewing, or this could just be another test inside the alligator for a move to the downside. Okay, so I am still rather biased for that measured move to play out, to come back and test the 4-hour 200 EMA. Okay, that is still what I can see. So we've had a very strong move to the downside, and now we've had one move to the upside, one move to the downside, another move to the upside. So one move, and that's 1, 2, 3. So I would expect another move to the downside. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. But looking at the position of prices in relation to alligator, that may not happen. Okay, so I think for me, this is a day of wait and see. Okay, the easy way around this is watch the half hour to see what's going to happen. This zone here is well worth a short for me at the moment. If you look at the risk you've got here, if we just wait for the second move, so we've had this move up. Let me just explain that better. So if you look here, you can see we had a move up. Okay, then we've had a 1-bar pullback. And then we had a second move up. Okay, so if I take the whole thing, there's been a move up, and now we're busy with a pullback. Now I want to see a second move at this high to create a new high. If that fails, then you have an opportunity for a short. And the beauty about that is that your stop is going to be like 30, 40 points, or if you take it where it is now, the stop is going to be 75 points. Okay, so if you come down to the 5 minutes, you'll see it a lot clearer. You see there's a rally. Okay, there's my second attempt. There's another second attempt. Okay, and that was a double top, but then we broke above it. So what you're looking for is to stop creating higher highs, and also you're looking to get below the alligator on the 5 minutes. Okay, so at this stage, I'm leaning towards the short, but there is also merit for a move to the upside. It's just there's total confusion. So you can see the size of these bars: big up, and then immediately a big down, and then a big up. And now what? Do I anticipate another big down? More than likely, or it may surprise you and just keep on rallying to the upside. Anyway, guys, I think stay really safe here. Try and work on a lower time frame if possible. So for me, the 12-minute will give me a fairly good indication of what's going on. We do have a little bit of a wedge break on this 12-minute here as well. There it is there. Okay. So that would bring us a target of pretty much almost all the way back down to gap close. Okay. So yeah, sorry guys, total confusion for me at the moment, and I'm kind of leaning towards a short at the moment. I do have a engulfing pattern here, so it may very well be worthwhile entering a short with a stop at 24 points. Okay, and see what happens from there. I don't see any wise man number ones here. Just double check on the 12. Nope, nothing there. And there's nothing on the hour except for this inside bar forming. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. Completely confused. Probably going to keep my money in my pocket, or alternatively I may be tempted to take this short with a very tight stop loss, probably a 20-point stop loss, and be trading it off the 5-minute. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. Whatever you do, please stay safe, and for me, probably my own advice to myself is just wait for a better setup, because there isn't one here. Okay, anyway, enjoy the rest of the day. Catch you later. Cheers for now.